Okay, so if you're here, you're probably thinking about New Zealand, right?
Thinking about it,
Yeah.
maybe a career move,
Maybe just curious about how you'd even go about getting a job in another country like that.
how it all works.
We've got all this information about visas for job seekers in New Zealand.
Tons of it.
We're going to cut through it all and give you the important stuff.
The need to know.
You don't have to spend hours on government websites.
Not today.
We got you.
What I think is so interesting about this is that New Zealand, they really want people with certain skills, you know?
Yeah, they're trying to boost their economy.
Exactly. They're looking to fill gaps.
All right, so the stuff we've been looking at, it's all about visas for people who want to get a job in New Zealand.
Right.
And it doesn't list every single visa out there.
No, it's more of a general overview.
Yeah, so what are some of the big things our listeners should be thinking about right away?
Well, first off, New Zealand, they want skilled workers.
People with experience and qualifications.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about what you bring to the table. They have different visa categories for people with specific skills, like if you're a software developer,
Or a nurse.
things like that. Yeah, professions they need more of.
So it's not like you could just show up and hope for the best.
Not really, no. You need to see if your skills are a match for what they're looking for.
And that brings us to the different types of visas.
Right.
Our source material doesn't get into all of them.
It's more about the big picture.
Yeah, but you should know there are work visas for people who already have a job offer in hand.
Right. You've already got that lined up.
But there might be some ways to get into New Zealand to look for work.
There are, but they're usually more specific.
More strict.
Yeah, you have to fit into a certain category.
Not just a general job seeker visa.
Right.
Now this is where it gets really interesting.
Tell me more.
Our information, it really emphasizes how important it is to understand these categories.
Yeah, to figure out which one applies to you.
So what's the key takeaway here? How do people figure out where they fit in?
Go to the official Immigration New Zealand website.
That's the place to go.
Absolutely. It's the best source for all the latest visa options.
And the requirements for each one.
Right, because those can change.
They can include things like your age, how much work experience you have.
Your qualifications, and even your English skills.
Our source, it's not giving us a list of specific visas for job seekers.
No.
It's telling you where to find that info for your situation.
Like a roadmap.
Exactly, so you know where to start digging.
And remember, even if you find the right visa category, the application process is pretty involved.
It's not a quick thing.
No, you usually have to submit a detailed application.
With documents to back up your qualifications and
A
experience.
proof of everything.
And there are probably fees involved.
Yeah. New Zealand wants to make sure you're a good fit to live and work there.
It's a big decision for them.
It is.
So let's say you get the visa.
Congrats.
Are there usually specific rules or things you have to follow?
Definitely every visa has conditions.
Like what?
Well, how long you can stay, for one thing. What kind of work you're allowed to do.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes it's tied to a specific employer. You can only work for them.
I see.
And whether or not you can bring your family with you.
Makes sense. But those are important details.
Absolutely, you don't want to mess around with your visa conditions.
It could jeopardize your whole immigration status.
Exactly.
Okay, so for our listeners who are seriously thinking about this,
New Zealand bound.
what does this all boil down to?
Well, first, polish up that resume.
Get it ready.
But even before that, you got to understand the visa situation.
Do your research,
Yeah, figure out which visa categories match your skills.
and then
Check the official requirements carefully.
every detail.
And be prepared for a thorough application process. It takes time.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
And remember, once you get that visa, there are obligations that come with it.
Responsibilities.
Exactly.
So we've learned that getting a job in New Zealand, it's not just about your work skills.
Right.
It's about navigating their immigration system.
Got to play by the rules.
And be proactive.
Exactly. You got to take charge of this process.
So the biggest takeaway is this.
I'm listening.
If you want to work in New Zealand, you have to understand their visa requirements.
First and foremost,
Match your goals with their regulations.
that's the key.
Are you willing to put in the effort to do that research?
That's the question.
That's what you have to ask yourself.
And remember what we've talked about today. It's just the beginning.
The tip of the iceberg.
Every situation is different. Your path might be unique.
Go to the Immigration New Zealand website.
For all the details.
Figure out your options.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Glad to be here.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
See you next time.
Take care.